this good watches? Is this good watches? Hold on, let it load. Ninfilla.
We
Nin.
all know how it goes.
Hold on, boy. Ninfilism. What is this? The belief in nothing. What does that mean, though? Nihilism. Okay. Nihilism is the philosophical viewpoint that traditional values, beliefs, and existence itself are baseless, senseless, and lack of objective meaning or purpose. Originating in the 18th century but popularized in the 19th century, argues that life has no intrinsic value, meaning, or morality. Key forms include extensional, moral, and cosmic nihilism. Life has no purpose. There's no objective morality, good or evil, social constructs. True knowledge is impossible and beliefs are unfounded. The belief that life is without objective purpose or nothing or meaning. Okay. So this is like hold on, Mike. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. So this is like, oh, we're all gonna die anyways. So what's the point in trying anything in life? Though we're on a floating rock in the middle of nowhere, we're not gonna exist in like 200,000 years. What's even the point? That's what this is. Oh, we're on a floating rock. We don't really matter. The universe is so much bigger than we could ever imagine. Why does anything matter? Is that what this is? You know what's crazy? I used to be like this in high school. I used to be like this very much in high school. Like, oh, I'm gonna die anyways. What does it matter? Or like, oh, I won't be the best at that anyway. What's the point of me trying, bro? You know? I was very much like that. I'm not like that anymore, obviously. Like, come on, gang, stop playing with me. That's not a good way to live. It's a boring way. It's a sad way. And people don't want to be around people like this. Negative Nancy's are the worst, bro. The belief in nothing. I don't even understand how you can do that. I mean, I did it though. I didn't really believe anything. I didn't like anything. Well, it's not that I didn't like anything. I was just like, I'm not gonna be good at it. So what's the point? Or, nah, that was really it. That was really it. I was like, I never tried because I was like, I'm gonna just fail. Or I'm not gonna be the best. So, yeah.
One day we're born, one day we die.
Yeah, like that. And I used to be like that too. I'm gonna die anyways. Nobody gonna remember me in like fucking 5 years after I die. So what's the point?
Everything that happens in between we know and understand. But everything that happened before and will happen after,
I don't like that though.
We know nothing about.
That's crazy too. Another thing is like, yo, like the person you were yesterday no longer exists. You know? That's so crazy. Especially if you learn something new that like opens up your eyes, bro. You're no longer that person that you were the day before or a couple hours before even. That's wild to think about. I don't know. Just a thought.
As a result, it's really difficult to say what exactly the meaning or importance for us being here is. If we can't...
A lot of people be saying that too, like, the meaning of life. I think the meaning of life, for me, I think the meaning of life is what you make it. I would say that. I don't even know what that means, but I think the meaning of life is what you make it. Whatever you make your life is, that's the meaning of it. I don't think the meaning of life is to be the richest or the best. It's to be whatever you want it to be. Whatever you want to be, that's the meaning of life. I don't think it's one original meaning of life. I think everyone's meaning of life is different, as it should be. Everyone's meaning shouldn't be the same thing.
Tell how we came or where we came from. How can we know why we're here?
You can't.
In the same vein, if we don't know where we're going or what we're going to become, how can we tell if any of our present actions have any significance at all? It is this uncertainty of both our collective pasts and futures that has allowed the question, what is the meaning of life, to plague humanity ever since we became sentient. We've never been able to objectively answer this question as a species. However, a lot of us have found comfort in many different ideologies to at least subdue the anxiety that it causes. In many different religions, a deity made the entire universe, put us all in it, and whatever we do on this earth will be used to determine when and how we spend eternity afterwards. For some others, the meaning of life is the love we share with friends, family, and our loved ones. Some others believe the existence of life in itself is what makes it worth living. But for nihilists, life is meaningless.
I wouldn't
All
say
action,
that. I don't agree with
suffering,
that.
emotions, both good and bad, are entirely senseless and meaningless.
I don't agree
This
with
is
that.
nihilism, the belief in nothing. At some point in our lives, many of us have been faced with nihilistic thoughts. We're hit by a strong sense of purposelessness, like our lives have no meaning and we have no intrinsic value. Usually, this happens when we begin to question our old beliefs, but also just before we get new ones to
Facts.
hold on to. It's in that phase where you're growing out of your parents' beliefs, learning new things, getting new experiences, and forming your own views about the world. And usually,
Nah, he's spitting.
all of these thoughts begin with one simple question. Why? A three-lettered monosyllabic word that's capable of making anything and everything that feels like the rock of your foundation start to become slippery.
Fact, because you wake up. Why? Why did I wake up? Why did I start this stream? Why do I live? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Quicksand dragging
Why do
you
I
into
keep
the
going?
misery that
I
maybe,
don't know.
just maybe, your whole life hasn't been what you thought it was. Just pause and take a moment to think about your core values and just ask the question, why? Why do you believe those things? Where did they come from? Who did they come from? Keep asking and eventually you'll arrive at a point where there's no longer an answer. You'll arrive at nothing. All the religions of the world, all of our scientific discovery, but yet the question why is one that we still cannot answer.
That's a crazy word.
And so for the nihilist, it is at this point that they come to the conclusion that there is no why. There is no answer. There's simply nothing. As Alan Watts once wrote, life is nothing more than a trip from the maternity ward to the crematorium.
Nah.
It's really in the name. The term nihilism comes from the Latin word nihil, which translates to nothing, and ism, which translates to ideology. It's the ideology of nothing. But that doesn't really help us in understanding it completely. Usually, people confuse nihilism for pessimism, but they are very different from each other. Pessimists believe in the worst outcome. They have a downtrending view of the world.
that
and
was what I
focus on the
had.
negatives in life, because
That
they
was
believe
what I
that,
had.
in the end, evil will always overcome good.
Yeah, that's what I had. That's what I had. That's what I had.
And this is what makes them different. Pessimists believe that there's good in the world, but they just don't think humans are capable of doing it, at least in its entirety. Nihilists, on the other hand, do not believe in anything. They don't believe that there's evil in the world, neither do they believe that there's good in the world. In the
What do
mind
they
of the
believe?
nihilist, the world simply exists, and humans created morality, thereby creating good and evil.
Oh, so they think that they think that morale is human made. Didn't we talked, this was in the free will video, right? The free the is the we talked about normality and the do humans have free will? And it's said that it's a, what is it? A combination. That it's a combination of like us humans, obviously we did, but also our biological joint, like, like I'm pretty sure like fucking Neanderthals, they had a bit of morale in their shit, but they didn't know what it was. It's a mix. And also I don't like the thing of nothing. Like, I never understood that, because I believe that nothing can exist. I don't think that nothing can be real, because it's always something. Even the word nothing is something, because nothing is a word, so it's a thing of shit. Like if you go to a what, like a black hole or some shit, it sucks up everything and it leaves nothing. But it still be like, particles, little energy waves and shit like that around. So it's not nothing. It's something. It's always something. It's never nothing. Nothing. I don't. That's me though. I don't know. I may be wrong. I may be wrong. I may be wrong. But I do believe that nothing cannot exist. It's always something. You know. And I don't believe that morale is strictly human made. Obviously, it's a mixture of both. It's a mixture of us and biological traits.
Let's take the glass cup metaphor
Morale
for
is not
instance.
100% just us.
Optimists say you should see the glass as
we
half
just
full,
made it up.
while pessimists say we should see the glass as half empty. Nihilists? They say throw the entire cup away. Because
Ooh, that's a good question. What does that say about a person, though?
Optimists say you should see the glass as half full, while pessimists say we should see the glass.
Oh. So pessimist. Okay, what is pessimist? Okay, pessimist. Pessimistic. A mental attitude that consistently expects the worst. Okay, so a normal person would say the glass is half full, but a pessimistic person would say that it's half empty, and then a nihilist would say nothing. Like, bro, you just trying to be different, bro.
As half empty. Nihilists, they say throw the entire cup away. Because
like, bro, they just like, bro, that would blow my mood. Like, I wouldn't want to hang around someone like that, and I was like that, or probably like the pessimistic person. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's an annoying person to be around, bro.
Does it matter if it's full or empty? Full, empty, good, bad, it's all irrelevant. We're all going to die anyway.
See, it's people like that. It's actual people like this in the world. I was one of them. Annoying person, bro. Annoying, bro. Annoying. You're just scared. You just scared of new things. You're scared to try things, bro. So you lock yourself in a box, bro. So you don't end up trying those things, bro.
Nihilism is also often compared to several other philosophies, like cynicism and apathy.
Satanism.
But again, they are all very different from one another, and correctly categorizing your thoughts in these baskets may be harder than you think. Cynics believe that people are always motivated by self-interest. They don't believe that anyone can have intrinsically good motives.
Yeah, we talked about that in, I think it was a free will. It was like, what was it? Everyone is selfless. You do a selfless thing for yourself, like donating to charity. You do it because it makes you feel good. But I think it's like 50-50, yo. Obviously, it's nothing wrong with doing something good because it makes you feel better. Like donating to charity, or you donate to charity because it makes you feel like you're being a better person. Now it's different. I feel like it's different if like you donate to charity and then you just brag about it. You know what I'm saying? You help out the homeless and then you just keep talking about it, telling people, "Oh, I helped out the homeless the other day. You know, what did you do, fucking loser?" That's different. But you just doing it, and you know you want to help people, but you also want to feel better about yourself because you probably feel like you're not contributing anything to the world, so you want to help us. You know, I don't feel like that's wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with that though. But the term though, everyone is selfish. Everyone does something. Everyone does something for their self. I don't agree with 100%. I think 50%. Like I said, 50-50. 50% you're doing it for yourself. 50% you're doing it for other people.
Faith in the human species and believe that we're all entirely selfish, only fighting for our own benefit. However, the idea that humans are not good means that in the mind of the cynic, good exists out there somewhere, just not in humans. In the mind of the nihilist, nothing exists out there. There's no good or evil.
It is.
They don't see people as evil, neither do they see them as good, because they don't believe either of those things exist. They're simply traits we've applied to things.
Yeah, okay, so I wasn't a nihilism guy, because I did believe in like good and bad morale, you know?
Apathetic people just don't care. They believe that there's meaning to life, but they simply don't care about it. Nihilism, on the other hand, is the idea that there's no grand design or purpose, nothing to believe in, and therefore no meaning. This brings to mind the paradox of nihilism. If you believe in nothing, then that nothing becomes something that you believe in.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. That's what I'm saying. Nothing can exist, bro. That's what I mean. That's what I meant, bro. But obviously I couldn't put it in those words again. I'm not that intelligent. But that's what I was meaning though, bro. Nothing can exist because nothing is something. As soon as you say nothing, boom, now it exists. You know?
But since
like, damn, once you believe in nothing, now you believe in nothing, so then you make it something because you believe in it. Facts.
you now believe in something, then there is no nihilism, because nihilism is the belief that there is nothing. Nihilism is quite different from other philosophical ideas because it was first a literary invention before it ever became philosophical. As a result, it's not clearly defined as many of the other philosophies that exist. Many different people explained it in many different ways, but eventually these different definitions got categorized, forming many different kinds of nihilism.
What was nihilism?
There's political nihilism,
Nihilism.
Political nihilists believe that for humanity to move forward as a species, all political, social, and religious order must be destroyed. Then there's ethical nihilism. It rejects the idea of absolute ethical or moral values. With this type of nihilism, good or bad is only defined by society, and, as such, it shouldn't be followed if we as a species will ever attain absolute individual freedom. We can kind of just do whatever we want. And then we have existential nihilism. It's the understanding that life has no value or meaning. It's the most popular kind of nihilism, and the one we've been talking about for most of this video. For nihilists, the existence of things like the state, religious bodies, and even communal morality is a breach on our freedom as individuals. If we can't do absolutely anything we want to do, then are we truly free? Or have we simply bound ourselves by some kind of invisible mental chain for reasons we can't explain? One night I was scrolling through Reddit and I came across the question.
One night, scrolling through Reddit. Ugh.
If you had the chance to save your pet or a stranger, who would you save?
I'm not gonna lie, that depends on the age. Depends on the age, bro. If it's a baby, I might have to say the baby. If they a grown adult, I'm not gonna lie, they gotta go. Sorry, that ass.
An overwhelming number of people said their pet, pretty obviously.
I mean, yeah, bro, like, bruh. Bro, okay, people be saying like no one is above anyone. They are, okay. To you, certain people are above certain people. Like if you had a choice, my nigga, they had a gun to your mother's head and a random stranger head. They say, "Yo, who do you want to live?" Without a doubt, not second question, you're going to pick your mother over the random person that you don't know, right? So you hold your mother in a higher stand than a normal human being. So it is levels, bro. It's just like, you feel me? Like for instance, like bro, if the world had to pick between you, okay, you or Barack Obama, yo game, I'm not gonna lie, they probably go pick Barack Obama to stay and you go die. So it's everyone in reality, everyone is equal, but to us, everyone is not equal. Cause you don't hold everyone's lives on the same scale. You don't unless, like, you feel me? You hate that person. If you hate them, lower. If you don't know them, middle. If you love them, higher. I feel like it's simple like that.
When one commenter was confronted, they simply asked the question, why do you think a human life is worth more than that of an animal?
Ooh, why do you think a human life is worth more than an animal? Most people will say because we are the superior species. But I wouldn't choose a random. I would choose to save my dog though over a random person, unless probably it's like a baby or a child, bro. I don't think I could let a baby or a child die. But if that boy grown, he gotta go.
And no one really had an answer. Of course, people tried to beat around the bush, but the question why was never answered.
Well, he said, why do you think a human's life is worth more than a dog's? Yeah, I think most people would say because we're superior to, like, we're like the most advanced animals on the planet. Literally. Yeah, I just think it's like that. It's like a race thing, bro. It's like we superior, you know? We like worse than we not worse than white supremacists, but because we think everyone, they think everyone. I mean, I don't think we're more superior because they were here first, sort of like animals. Well, we're animals, but like dinosaurs, like chickens come from dinosaurs and shit. I think birds too. They were here before us, in a way. Like their ancestors were here before us, but we just did more work. We just got more advanced than them. But I don't know. No, I think I do hold humans higher because I don't think like I could. I don't know. Like I'll probably kill a dog before I kill a person. You get what I'm saying? Because killing a person is like damn. But killing a dog is damn too, but it's like less damn than me killing a person. I don't know.
And that right there is the point of the nihilist. If we can't answer why we bind ourselves by these rules, then why do we choose to do it?
But I do think that though, like, no, realistically, no one is above anyone, but in society we are, or like our emotions tell us that there are people that are above other people, but realistically, it's not. We're not, because we're all the same. We all bleed the same color. We all can die the same way. Like, you know.
It might be because of the existential horror and the emotional anguish that comes with agreeing to the fact that life is meaningless.
But it's not.
Think about it for a minute. If life is truly meaningless and everything we're doing has no value, then all the feats of science, the wonders of technology, things like space exploration and human rights movements.
And also, I feel like, bro, if you think that life is so meaningless, nigga, just die, bro. Like, I think, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like just die then, bro. I don't know. Just go on the street and get ran over somewhere. Just take some nigga OD or something, bro. Just get out of here then. If you think that nothing truly matters on this planet, your family don't matter, you don't matter, nothing you does matter, nothing your friends or family or even foe matters, nigga, just die, bro. What are you still here for then? You just here to just spread negativity and all types of other bullshit, bro. Just go, just leave.
Look at how far we've come, and then think about the fact that it all might just be a waste, a blip in time with no consequence whatsoever in the grand scheme of things, knowing that all the things we experience, the ups and downs we go through, that in the end, it's all for nothing.
I don't think that it's all for
We
nothing.
are obligated to understand the chaos of reality, just to laugh at it.
It's to show us we're human.
Friedrich Nietzsche was a strange philosopher because he argued both for and against nihilism at the same time. Arguing for, he explained that there is no objective structure or order in our world except for the one that we create for ourselves.
That's true.
He once said, "Every belief, every considering something true is necessarily false, because there is simply no true world." He believed nihilism would expose all humanity's beliefs and truths as nothing but a symptom of defective Western mythology. As he famously said, "God is dead." Now, he wasn't talking about the actual deity of the religions. He was talking metaphorically about the power that religious orders held at the time, and how people were starting to chart their own paths, find their own meaning in life, denying what the status quo was at the time. But then, in the same breath, Friedrich argued against nihilism, saying that in the coming centuries, the advent of nihilism would drive civilization towards a catastrophe, a disaster waiting to implode, a river that has reached its end. And if you look at the most destructive civilizations in human history, we can clearly see that this is true. Long-standing cultural traditions, beliefs, religious institutions, and even financial systems are broken down, and nothingness starts to creep in. Think about it. If nothing matters and we're all just a random combination of transient atoms, how can we call Hitler objectively one of the worst humans to ever live for trying to wipe out an entire culture? At a fundamental level, most of us understand that all of these things are indeed terrible. But the danger is that because we cannot explain why we feel that way logically, we can never convince another person to follow the same path. And that is exactly what Friedrich feared. Some people still blame him for the Nazi era, because although he saw all of these dangers, he still continued preaching nihilism. He believed that if we could work through the breakdown of civilization that nihilism would eventually cause, we can then create a new course of action for mankind. He believed that to move forward as a species, we must create a new morality, one that does away with the prejudice of what existed
Boy, you think you paying?
before. Because at the end of the day, tearing down your old house shouldn't make you homeless. Rather, it should present you with an opportunity to build a bigger and better home. Pause and look around you for a moment. Observe everything that's going on, particularly on social media, and you can see that we as a species might just be heading for another nihilism outbreak. Religion no longer holds any say in what is morally acceptable. People are destroying long-standing beliefs and cultural practices, and are instead charting new courses for themselves. Anything, no matter how despicable you think it is, now has a loyal fan base defending why they have a right to do whatever it is they want to do. And in reality, why not? That's the question no one can answer. Humanity will keep shifting the needle forward ever so slightly, until one day, none of us will be able to tell the other that they're wrong. Because, why are they wrong? William Shakespeare once wrote, "Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, but signifying nothing." If life is truly meaningless and we have no purpose for being here, our response should be to make the best out of a bad situation. Instead of seeing the glass half full or half empty, we can simply throw it out and drink directly from the faucet until we're satisfied. Because at the end of the day, life alone is reason enough for living.
Facts. Facts. That's facts. At the end of the day, life alone is more than enough for living. Damn, man. Great vid, great vid, great vid, great vid, boy. Yo, I'm not gonna hold you, bro. After I watched the Joe joint, what was the first one I watched? I forget. Was it the free? No, it wasn't the free will. What was it? The content dilemma. After I watched the content dilemma, bro, I don't know. It just like, woo. That video, bang, boy. 1.1K.